Good morning and welcome to the Cannon County Chamber Connection. This is the November edition, and of course, as always, it's made possible by DTC, and we appreciate all they do for our community. That's one good thing about having a co-op that handles your communications. They've got that personal touch that kind of helps with every community. But you know, I can't believe this is already November. And of course, October was a month of festivals. We had festivals every weekend, sometimes more than one, and that was great, and the weather cooperated some, and there may be some not. But anyway, we had a great October, and of course, November, you're getting into Veterans Day events, and also Turkey Day, otherwise known as Thanksgiving. And then my favorite holiday, of course, is Christmas, and that will be coming up, and we will be talking about some things today that deal with Christmas, because everybody goes, well, why do you start in November? Well, look around. Everybody else has already started, so if you wait until Christmas, you've lost, because everybody else is decorating and getting ready in November, and we are doing the same thing. We don't want to be left out. We do have some guests with us today. We have several guests, in fact, but we do have some people here from the SBA or SBDC that met with me earlier, and they're very interested, and they're out of Middle Tennessee, MTSU. That also brings some of these with us. And we have on my right Kayla Miller, and she is the Associate Director of SBDC out of MTSU, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we have Kenneth George, who is in the Lecturer Department of Management at MTSU and the College of...
It's the Jones College of Business
at
Middle Tennessee State University, yes.
Okay, and you're a lecturer there. You
I
tell
am a
everybody
lecturer.
what they should do.
Well, we kind of work together on that, but yes.
Okay.
And part of what I've been doing this year as part of my duties with Middle Tennessee State University's Jones College of Business is to get out and get the word to local communities about the Small Business Development Center, which is hosted through Middle Tennessee State University. And through that, I'm working with Chris Swanner and Kayla Miller to get out in some of the surrounding communities to help better inform them about what services are offered and how we can be of assistance to really businesses of all sizes in the communities that are serviced by the SBDC. And Kayla, would you like to tell them about some of the things you do and have going on?
Sure. So the Small Business Development Center, we are a federally mandated, federally funded program that exists to support economic development growth in communities. And the way that we do that is by providing one-on-one, no-cost consultation to anybody that walks through our doors. So all someone has to do is come in or sign up online, and they have access to myself or our director, Chris Swanner, at any time for any reason, anything from I'm interested in starting a business, I'm not sure what to do, all the way through I'm ready to get rid of the business that I have. And all of that is no cost because we are federally funded and generously hosted by MTSU, Jones College of Business, that pays the other half of all of our expenses. So we have the fortune of serving 14 counties in southern Middle Tennessee, and that does include Cannon County. And so we are trying to become more involved in this community, whether that's through meeting one-on-one with anyone who's interested, and that can be via phone, in person one-on-one, via video conference, however it works best for our client. And so that's what we're here to do. And our goal at our office is to make it as convenient as possible for our clients and to meet them and serve them where they are with whatever their needs are. So all aspects of business except for legal and tax.
And where is your office located at?
Sure. So our office is located at the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce, Medical Center Parkway in Murfreesboro. But we are happy to travel, and so if we have clients who are here who are interested in meeting in Cannon County, we are more than happy to meet with them here. Whether that's finding a local spot that we can go to, finding somewhere that we could meet here at the Art Center or the Chamber of Commerce. So we are happy to travel, and I frequently do travel to our other surrounding counties to meet with clients on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Now, you guys hold workshops for businesses collectively, or do you do them, one-on-one individually, or how does that work?
So the one-on-one consultation is the primary way we work with people, but we do hold workshops as well. So we actually hold monthly workshops, and those are all out of our Murfreesboro office, and they are also free of cost. So you can sign up for those, come learn about how to start a business. So every twice a month, I teach a class called What to Consider When Starting a Business, and that just goes over. It's a 2-hour class. And it is free. You come in, you learn all of the basics of how do I legally start a business in Tennessee. So what is a business license? What are business taxes? What the different business structures are. We talk about the basics of marketing, the basics of financials, the basics of operations, and the basics of funding. So we go through all of that, but we also have classes that are geared towards people who are in business. So social media and marketing, which we've been talking a lot about. We offer classes. I taught a class yesterday on human resources for small businesses, because that's my background. I'm a senior certified professional from the Society of Human Resource Management. And then we also have different classes like cybersecurity for small businesses. How do you save for retirement as a small business owner? And different things like if I want to offer benefits or 401ks, we bring in different professionals from across the community who are willing to donate their time and provide expertise at no cost to any community member. You don't even have to be a client to come to the classes.
Of course, this is be a good resource to use for a lot of small businesses.
Right.
Of course, this week being Veterans Day coming up on Monday, this week is being observed as Small Business Administration Veterans Day. Veterans.
That's correct.
Do you deal with a lot of veterans as far as do you talk to a lot of veterans who are wanting to start up businesses, and what are some of the concerns that they might have?
Sure. So we do work with a lot of veterans who are looking to start small businesses. They have a lot of the same concerns that any small business owner does, and that's primarily funding. So for people who are looking to start a business, it's how do I get the money to do it, because it is prohibitive. A lot of times to start a business, it costs money. One of the things that we talk to veterans about is there are specific loan programs through the Small Business Administration. So the SBA, or the Small Business Administration, they have loan programs where they work with banks and credit unions to get loans to people who might not otherwise have access to them. So we are able to work with clients to develop business plans and get ready to go sit down with a lender. So that's one of the big things that we do. Also with veterans, one of the things that we encounter quite frequently is they're interested in government contracting. They have a lot of experience with government work. They understand a lot of times how the government works. And so getting involved with government contracting, and there are specific programs, what we call set-asides, where individuals who have a registered veteran-owned business, they have a higher likelihood of getting government contracts.
Yeah.
And so we can work with them to get that process started, and to get them connected with other agencies who do what we do for more specific things. So PTAC, the Procurement and Technical Assistance Centers, they do what we do, but specifically for government contracting. So we help veterans get started with that process and then get them connected with PTAC to help them really get started with government contracting. So that's part of what we do as well, is connecting people with the correct resources to help them in whatever way they need.
Right, and a lot of those government contracts that you get as far as that look at these veterans-owned businesses, they are more apt to do business in construction. You know, I noticed a lot of that going on in construction businesses. If you've got a veteran-owned construction business of some sort, you're more apt to get, the contract rather than somebody who isn't. So
Yep.
it's good.
And that's a lot of times people ask what the government contracts, and they don't necessarily think their business is something that the government would be interested in, but the government contracts they contract a lot.
Yeah.
And that's not just goods, but they contract a lot of services as well. So for people who have a service-based industry, you can also enter into the government contracting arena. There's a lot of people who are interested in doing government contracting with the VA because the VA has a mandate to work with veteran-owned businesses first. So they have a specific mandate for that, and we have a local VA hospital in Murfreesboro, and so that's a good opportunity for a lot of people in the surrounding areas to contract with a local VA.
Another highlight of this is the season for small businesses, is it not?
Shop Small Saturday.
Yeah, Shop Small Saturday is coming right up. Tell us a little bit about that and some of the things that small businesses can do to promote their own business during the event.
Sure. So Shop Small Saturday, it comes right after Black Friday, and it was a big push from the SBA. I think it's a partnership with American Express to really encourage people to shop local. So not just going to your big box store on Thanksgiving evening now and on Black Friday, but taking the time to shop small on Saturday. So a lot of the things that businesses do is same thing that you do every other day, is make sure that you promote it. Any types of specials that you're having or promotions that you're having, you want to advertise those and make sure that the local community knows about it. Particularly those people that you know want to shop small anyway. The people that are always going to buy from a big box store, you might not get them in, but the people who are already shopping with you and shopping local, those are the people that you really want to reach out to and say, hey, we're having this specific day, we've got some specials, we know you like to shop with us, come support us and get a discount for yourself. So it's utilizing that the people who shop with you anyway.
Well, right now, the Cannon Courier is doing a shop at home thing, and leading up to that.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people go out of, well, part of the problem with shopping local for us is that most of our workforce works outside of Cannon County.
Sure.
And they work in Murfreesboro and Nashville, so it's easy for them to stop by these stores on their way home.
Sure.
But these are the guys that you're going to go to. These stores are the ones that you're going to go to when you need somebody to donate to your
Correct.
ball teams, to donate to your schools, your harvest festivals. So you've got to remember that, because we have a limited business foundation.
Sure.
And these are the ones that are going to jump in and help.
Right.
So you just kind of have to consider that. And I think it's, it's not logical to think that everybody is just going to shop here and never go out of town.
Correct.
Because that's not going to happen.
Sorry.
They're going to, and that's okay, but just think before you do that.
Right.
Is this something I can get at home?
Right.
Because the bottom line's going to help you,
Absolutely.
taxes and everything else.
Small businesses contribute more to the local economy. I believe it's almost twice as much as large retail stores, and that's through taxes, that's through exactly what you said, donations to events, local community sports leagues, so they do contribute more, and so the health of those businesses is really important and vital to local communities.
It is. Okay, are you going to lecture us about something?
He's going to lecture us about leaving him out in the cold over here while we're
Hey, he
talking to her.
could jump in at any
Listen,
time.
I understand where part of what I'm doing is making sure that local communities realize what a asset we have in the Small Business Development Center. And that's by introducing them to Chris and Kayla to get them involved locally. I guess I'll just say that I had Kayla come and speak to my entrepreneurship classes back in the spring, and the main lesson that I wanted to get across is that small business owners, or even medium business owners, or whatever kind of business owners, you're not out there alone. And you do face problems that come in from time to time. It may be in the form of new legislation, new rules, whatever, and you don't really know exactly how to address it. Having a resource like this to turn to is of just such tremendous value to our small communities, to be able to reach out to them and ask those questions. And I know that it's sometimes hard to admit you don't know about that, but they're the folks that are there to help them succeed as a small business.
And this is all free.
It is
And it
all-
is
No
free.
cost.
And it's not just myself and Chris. That's the great thing when you come and talk to us. You're not just getting access to the two of us. You're getting access to our entire network. So
Right.
we have locations all across the state of Tennessee, and we're part of a large network of small business development centers that exist across the nation. So if I don't know and Chris doesn't know, we'll reach out to our network across the state and ask them, because we all have different backgrounds in different areas of expertise. And then if we don't know, we have connections that we've made across the country where we can ask somebody else a question. So you're getting free access to professionals. A lot of these business professionals have owned their own business. They've worked in small business development for years. So you're getting people that have a lot of experience and work here because we believe in local communities, we believe in small businesses, and we want to see them grow and develop, and that's why we work here.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a good thing.
Yeah.
And guys, I do appreciate very much the fact that you have come up to tell us about that, because I think a lot of people do go into business. Well, I know they do, a lot of times. And, you know, they rent a building, they turn on the electricity, they put in their product, and then what?
Then it gets hard.
know.
Right.
Then it gets very difficult.
Right.
And you don't always have the foot traffic
Correct.
that you had hoped for.
Yep.
So you need to know all these little things.
Yep.
And one thing about this is, if you're watching this and you are interested in contacting these people, I'm going to let them give you a number, but you can always call the chamber, because I have a card on all of them. And I will send you them.
There you go. Well, I actually do not remember my phone number, and I don't have a card sitting right here, so I will
Well, I don't have your card with me.
I will give my email address, because that's usually the best way to reach me, because I am out traveling.
Right.
But you can also just do a Google search for Tennessee Small Business Development Center and find our number there as well.
And you are at the Chamber
Murfreesboro
of
location.
Commerce.
Yes, the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. And my email address is just K, the letter K, and my last name is Miller, at tsbdc.org. And that's just all the first letters from Tennessee Small Business Development Center.
All right.
And let me say that it's really been a pleasure, and we appreciate
Absolutely.
you welcoming us into Cannon County in this way. The Art Center here and everything that we've seen has just been, we've been spreading the word about what is maybe a little hidden gem here in
Right.
Middle Tennessee.
Well, we like
and,
that, too.
And we're looking forward to building a relationship between the folks that need us here in Cannon County and the Small Business Development Center.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you all could attend, and I was proud to have you on the show.
Well, thank
You're
you for
very
having us.
informative.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, now we've got another one, and these gentlemen come to us from a new business, since we're talking about new business, and they are with Stones River Storage, and this is an elaborate storage unit that have just opened up. In fact, they're going to be having their grand opening, and they're going to tell us a little bit about it here as we speak. And I will let them, and by the way, the one thing I forgot was, I do have a co-host, and this is Keith Reedy, and
She always forgets me. I'm not.
I'm just so used to him.
Yeah.
He is now working for the Cannon Courier, and we're glad to have Keith on there. He's really smarter than he looks, so I'm glad to have him.
Smarter than. Yeah. Thank you, Carol.
All right. These are the gentlemen that are connected with Stones River Storage. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Kendall Smith. Been here my whole life, 30 years old.
Cole Reed.
All right.
I know Kendall.
I know. Well, I know Cole too, but
Yeah,
I
Cole.
thought
Yeah.
I'll make sure. Okay, gentlemen, you have opened up an elaborate storage units. I mean, how many do you have all total?
We have 190 units total. and about 34 of those are climate control, which is the first ones here in Woodbury.
This,
And they look very nice.
this project
really
went
did.
up pretty quick, didn't it?
It did, yes. I think we started, took us about 5 to 6 months, I think, from start to finish,
Well,
which,
fast pace still beats you.
that's right.
But,
I don't know that that was a competition, but listen, both of them did real well with this. Let me ask you, what made you, I guess I'm asking you this because I think it's so ironic, about, 2 months before you all opened up or even started building, I had people contacting me wanting to know how many storage units we had or if we had any new ones going in. Well, at that time, I didn't know. And I said, no, we have some, but we don't have any new ones going in. I never really understood the connection there, but it was just funny that happened. And of
Yeah.
course, when you first started breaking ground, everybody was sure it was a rock quarry. And I told them, I don't believe there's enough rock there to do that. And then the next thing I knew, it was going to be Hometown Bank because y'all had a banner up.
Gotcha.
So I had people call me and argue with me that was going to be a bank. And I says, no, it's not going to be a bank.
I'm sure a bank could rent one of your storage units and hold operations there. You wouldn't complain, would you?
No doubt, that's
I didn't
correct.
think so.
Well, when is your grand opening?
Our grand opening is actually next Saturday, November the 16th.
Right. And your ribbon cutting's going to be at 11 a.m.
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
And I will be there.
And they do have a activity out there coming up this Saturday, correct?
Yes,
It's
we
gonna
have
be
a little fall festival this Saturday with some boutiques and some kind of yard sale items and some food vendors and just different people going to set up and try to sell some of their things and small businesses kind of that they've kind of started.
There's a lot of vendors in there that they sell things, boutique type items.
Christmas items.
Christmas items. So it's a good opportunity for those vendors to be exposed also, and that might be something that they'll grow into and start their own business coming up.
Well, that'd be the perfect place.
Where did the idea come from that you guys got involved in building a storage unit and operating one? That was,
I guess working down at Reed's Builder Supply there, we kind of had people coming in and asking us about storage buildings
yeah.
and different things, and we said, well, we'd give them the other storage buildings in the county, and then they said, well, they're all full. So then we kind of started spinning around there a little bit, and we're like, well, hey, let's try to put one in, and we knew there was no climate control or anything, and a lot of people had talked about surrounding counties having the climate control units, and they really liked them, so then we just decided to jump in and go for it.
I guess what surprises me is that many people store their stuff.
It also surprised me. It really did.
Well, this is probably a good thing,
Yes.
right?
There was a stat that 60% of households actually use a storage building at some point in their life,
Well,
and I think that's amazing number. 60%.
I do too, because we have several in the county. They're not as big as y'all's now, I will say that. And I will say this, you did a great job because they're very impressive looking.
Thank you, thank you.
For that end of town, and to see it all lit up at night, and I thought, hey, this is good.
No.
It's not a Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Right.
but it's okay.
and you guys got an office on the premises.
We do, yes, sir.
Do.
So that's something that's also unique.
Right now, we're open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays on the office, and if need be, we're thinking about maybe expanding and having a day on the weekend, maybe Saturday. We'll work a half a day, but right now, we'll meet you anytime. So if somebody calls, we can meet by appointment, and/or we have a website that's fully functional. They can go on there actually and do everything they need to do. They can pay their bills. They can rent online and move in today if they want to. So I think the future generations are they like that, and it's there's
They like all that computer stuff.
they do, we still meet. Over half the people we still meet in person because there's
Yeah.
people that want that that one-on-one.
Well, you
So,
kind of do too.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, really, there could be Yeah, I would kind of want to meet him too.
Yep. And so we do both, you know. So there's some people that are technology savvy and they want to do it online. There's some people that want to meet us in person. We'll do either one.
And if people can't find you, all they need to do is run across the road to Reed's Builder Supply and ask around, hey, who are these guys that run this place?
That's right.
They'll be able to point
Well,
you
now
out.
they can call the chamber and I can tell them,
Yes, that's a great
Exactly.
idea too. Yes, ma'am.
because they will. They will, believe me. Well, I'm just, like I say, I was real impressed. I'm real impressed with the whole operation there. And of course, you have another partner involved with you.
We do, yes. Mike Hutchins, he's involved, and that's actually was his property, and we kind of went in with him and did these.
Well, that was a perfect place for it.
It is. It
I
kind of,
mean, it really, right there on the corner, it's easy access.
it is. Yeah, you can come in off 70 or go out on 53, so
Right.
there's easy access to get in and out there either way.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to tell us? We want to invite everybody to the grand opening. That will be on the 16th, on a Saturday. And of course, you'll have refreshments and door prizes, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so, hey, I've always said, if you have given food and the
Yeah,
door
that's what I was
prizes,
gonna
they will
say.
come.
We looked
Hannah
at that
Haley
last
corrected, she
Friday,
did
did we not? We saw that
We
up
did.
at
Fast
up at the
Pace
Fast
had
Pace.
theirs,
They had
and
a
it was
sign out in front that
tremendous.
said free food, and they were packed.
Oh,
They had
that's
over
right.
300 and something people come through that day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's free food, you always see abundance of people.
And the door prizes.
Yes, that's right.
I'm going to tell you right
You
now.
might get some free T-shirts to give away too.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, because they gave us free T-shirts at the Fast Pace. We had to take a tour. Carolyn takes a tour, gets it locked up in a storage unit. I could see that happening. But
Well, it could be worse things.
And we are doing, right now, we are doing until the end of the year, if you buy 2 months, you get your third month free right now
Oh,
also.
that's great.
So,
It is. And then this coming weekend is when you're going to have your festival.
That's correct, yes,
And
ma'am.
what times will that be?
It's 9 to 2. Or 8 to 2, I'm sorry, 8 to 2.
8 to 2.
Do you already have enough vendors? Or did you want more vendors?
I think there's a couple of spots. We had a couple people that couldn't make it. They had some things pop up, so they can contact us and we'll get them in touch with
Okay.
that. And I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 spots left.
Okay.
And I may have been wrong about the times. I think it could be all day. Do you remember, Ken?
I thought it was 8 to 2 is what they, Kelsey and
I was thinking, yeah.
Usually by 4:30, now it's getting dark, so
Yeah.
that sounds about
I
right.
think that's right.
We had our wives take control of that, so we kind of stayed out of it.
All right. Well, gentlemen, is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Hey, if you need a storage building, just come see us, we'd appreciate it.
There you are. That's right from the horse's mouth right there. He's going to take, well, I'll tell you what, you'll be impressed. If you haven't seen them, you need to see them because they're great. And I haven't even been inside of one, so. Okay, I got 2 more guests coming up, but we're going to have y'all back maybe after the first of the year
Okay,
and
that
kind
sounds
of see
good.
how things are going, okay?
Perfect, thank you all very much.
Thank you. And I will see you, well, I may see you this Saturday, but I will see you on the 16th.
That sounds good, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
My next 2 guests come to us for very special reasons. We have Bill McQuarrie, and Bill is here for Everything Lions Club, and we're going to get to him in just a minute. And we have Camille Smith, and we've been trying to get Camille on here for a while. And she is the director of CASA. And Camille, do you want to tell them exactly what CASA is?
Yes, it's court-appointed special advocates. And we work in the court system with children who are abused and neglected in our community and are taken from their parents. And so I train volunteers in our community who want to support these children. And we are their voice in the court system.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a part of National CASA, but that's across the United States. But we're also part of Tennessee CASA. We're one of 56 counties across Tennessee that has a CASA program.
Okay, and the people that are advocates for these children, they are volunteers, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
And so that's what you're recruiting right now, aren't you?
Yes, we need volunteers. We have over 20 kids in the foster care system in Cannon County. And we're a fairly new program in the county, so We only have 4 volunteers right now. So, we're gaining children every day, it seems like, in our county for abuse and neglect. And so we're in dire need for volunteers for these children.
And these volunteers for CASA, we have several programs in Cannon County that deal with children and child abuse and sexual abuse and everything, but you are advocates for the children, right? You actually go into the foster homes or the homes and you talk to the children and you're their advocates in court or whatever.
Yes, ma'am. Our volunteers go through about 30 hours of training, and they're sworn into the court system, so they become part of the court procedures and part of the case. They're given legal rights to all medical, school documents, can go in and out of the home whenever is great timing to be there. But they're part of that court process for the child. Yes, they have all legal right to be in it and to help advocate for these children.
You had a couple of new volunteers that you just swore in, what
Yes,
was it,
sir.
last week, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It was the end of October.
Right.
So I think October the 24th, we had two new volunteers sworn in. And we need volunteers desperately in this county.
And more great news, you just named a chairman of the board. And
Yes, we got a new chairman, Matt
Very-
Cohen. He's an attorney here in Cannon County, and a great guy. And he's part of the community, very active. So he's our new chairman and going to be a great part of CASA. He's always been part of CASA from the beginning. I just started CASA in May. So I was a school teacher for Cannon County for 10 years. And this way I have more, I can offer more help to these kids than I could in the classroom,
Right, because you heard stories, I'm sure, in the classroom,
Yes.
and you knew
yeah,
of
as
other
a teacher,
teachers
we do. Yes,
that
and you can
discussed.
only do so much. But now I feel I can actually get in the home and help the parents.
Because
get their
teachers
help.
kind of know.
Mhm.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
children are very informative.
Oh, yeah, they'll tell you everything.
I used
They'll
to
tell you everything.
substitute teach, and I thought, okay, this is more than I needed
Yeah, I
to
don't want to know
know.
anything else. That's true. They're open books, and they want someone to listen to them.
Yeah, they do.
And so in the court process, I don't think people realize that there's not really a voice for the child. No one, asks them how's it going, or how's the foster home, or what was going on at home, what's going on in your home, what's going on with mom and dad, and what do you want? And so as a CASA advocate, a volunteer, we listen to the children. We spend time with them, and we're their voice in that court process.
And that is so important, to be a voice, because there's a lot of judges, a lot of attorneys, especially in custody cases and things of that nature, when they're fighting to get these kids back.
Yes.
These kids don't want to go back.
Yes.
And there's certain reasons why they don't. And unless you have somebody there that is an adult that's fighting for them,
That's right.
judges usually try to pare back, because that's the goal, is try to get these kids back with their
Yes,
parents and
yes.
stuff. And a lot of times, it's not a healthy situation. They need more training, more, more classes, more,
That's true.
things of that nature.
Now, we've got, we're blessed with a wonderful juvenile judge, Judge Melton. In the court weekly, I can see her heart for these kids.
Right.
I mean, there's been times that she's had to take a break and step out because it's really crushing her heart listening to what is going on in our community with children.
Yeah.
And she fought for this program for years, and so we really owe it to her that we've got a
Well,
CASA.
she was instrumental in the Child Advocacy Center also.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that's a wonderful program too. It's
They
a
deal with a little
nonprofit.
different aspect
They
of it.
do.
But basically kind of some of the same things
Yes,
that you're
ma'am.
dealing
Yeah,
with.
we work closely with them.
And there are judges that, like Judge Melton, that do care for these kids.
You're
That's
right.
one of the reasons why they fight for this, because their hands are tied. What can
That's
they do?
right.
They've got to
That's
follow
right.
their guidelines. And
That's
then there's
right.
some judges that I'm familiar with that,
Yeah.
they're going to go by the guidelines, and it doesn't matter what's going on in the home.
That's true. Just,
To that effect.
Yep.
So.
it's a good point.
Well, Camille, you're putting out a plea
Yes,
for
ma'am.
volunteers.
I am.
And who can they contact if they would like to become one?
Yeah, I always get the question, what does it take to be a volunteer? So I want to quickly go over, it's a simple process. It takes about 30 hours of training, which I will go through each step by step with you. It takes a background check, and then you have to be sworn into the court system. So it's an easy process to become a volunteer. If you're interested in becoming a volunteer, you can contact me at CASA-CANON, at gmail.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Cannon County CASA.
Let me ask you something else too. These are for volunteers. They won't be paid for this, right?
No, ma'am. It's volunteer work.
Okay. How is
In the volunteer
CASA,
state.
how is CASA founded? I mean, how is it funded? I'm sorry.
It's a nonprofit, so I'm part-time, salary of a part-time position, and it's paid for by TCCY, which is Tennessee Commissioner on Children and Youth. So it's our state funded. That's my salary. That's how I receive my salary. Everything else, the full operation of CASA comes from donations in our community. It's a nonprofit. We do fundraising, which Bill from the Lions Club, amazing at the help he's given us.
Yes.
And it's all nonprofit. So we function on donations and
Fundraising.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you did have an event that I just found out that has been canceled, and that was on Friday. That was the trivia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're hoping to do that maybe in the winter months when everybody's stuck inside.
Do
maybe.
January.
Yeah, we might do January.
November and December.
I think the
are
senior
wild.
center does one in January.
They do,
I
the
think.
first.
Maybe
So I
they
don't
do.
want to, take it from them.
Yeah.
We'll
'Cause
do
they're
one on
nonprofit too.
Christmas trivia.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
could do.
Everybody bring a gift for
Yes.
underprivileged kids.
That would be
And,
good in the
yeah.
foster care system. I do want to say two more things about CASA. I didn't know going into CASA that we have no state foster care homes in Cannon County.
No, we don't.
We have absolutely none. The ones that are foster homes in Cannon are private foster companies. So we have all of our kids that's taken from the home, and we have, in the 20s now, children taken. They're placed out of county. So we have kids in Memphis, we have even kids in Georgia, we have kids in Knoxville, all over, Clarksville, everywhere. And so our volunteers we travel together.
I
and we
didn't
see these
realize
kids.
that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't realize. I
it
knew we
used to
didn't
be
have
in
any
years
state
past that
Yeah.
a lot of the majority of the kids from Cannon would be in DeKalb and Rutherford.
Yes,
They
yeah.
would share those.
So we,
But-
I take it as part of my job to also just state in our community that we need foster homes.
Yeah.
We do. It's one thing when you're ripping these kids out of their home, because the parents aren't doing, what they should be doing to take care and protect these kids, but we're removing them altogether from what's familiar
Because
to
there may
them.
be some other relatives, local,
Yes,
that-
and if not, or if they're not a good placement, then we
Right.
have to take them to surrounding counties and,
And if you've got a parent that's looking that goes through that program to try to reunite themselves with their child,
Yes.
and having to travel all the way to Memphis to see that kid on a weekly basis,
yes.
that's
it's hard.
rough.
That's hard.
Rough.
It's hard to complete your program doing that.
It is.
So if you're interested in foster homes, we can, contact your DCS, and they can give you the information on that.
That you'll need for that.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Camille.
Thank you.
I've got to go now to this
Yeah, I'm
guy because
sorry.
he's been patiently
He is
waiting on
patiently
me.
waiting.
Bill McQuarrie, you are everything Lions Club today because we are going to talk a little bit about Lions Club. You were the chairperson for one of the easiest fundraisers I've ever been involved in, and that is the food bank donations, right?
Yes, and thank you for having me. But I want to give all of the praise to the community that continuously donate.
They do need their
They come
praise.
out, they donate the foods, and all of the food that they donate for the dollar market, at the dollar market every Saturday. We'll be doing that for the next 6 Saturdays. The only Saturday we will not be setting up is December the 7th, in which we will have the Christmas
And
parade.
that's Lions Club
The
Day
Lions
in
Club
Cannon
Christmas
County.
parade and the pancake breakfast.
Breakfast, tour
and
of
the tour of
homes.
homes. So those will be the only Saturdays we've not collected. On these, this last Saturday, we were very, very successful. We ended up collecting 370 pounds worth of food was collected at the dollar market. And that equated to around 380 items that was collected. We got some cash donations that we will be buying for whatever's needed for the Cannon County Food Bank. All the food collected does stay in the community. It goes to the Cannon County Food Bank every Monday, and we personally deliver that. And I can't say enough about the community and giving and
They
and
are
helping
great,
during
but
this
I've
time.
always known that. I mean, about everything, Cannon County, they'll step up to the plate, especially if it's something as important as this. You know, I don't think people, well, maybe some people do. And we have a lot of churches and everything that have food trucks and everything come in. But the food bank, the food that the Lions Club and the Dollar Market, because they are partnering with the
Yes.
Lions Club to make this happen, but it stayed in our food bank just about all year. Well, Lois told me that that was the biggest food drive they'd ever had. Was what we collected during-
And it's all the success of the community that
Yeah, it
that
is.
made it such a success.
Actually, all we do is set up the lion and a box, huh?
Yep, and they ask, what do we need as they go into the dollar market? And that's kind of what's unique about it, is we understand from a Cannon Food Bank what the shelves are, what's
Yeah.
low on the shelves, and we pretty much tell the guys, well, here's what we need, and those are the items that they collect, so that we're filling the shelves up with exactly what is needed for the holidays and all. And many times, of course, as Camille was alluding to, is the children and all. The holidays, a lot of schools, is their lunches and all. And during the holidays, this is another supplement that we can ensure that all
Because some
families get to
kids,
eat.
even on the weekends, don't have anything to eat.
I
If
agree,
they're
and
not in
this is-
school, they don't have a lot to eat, but we have churches that do help try to provide for that, and we also have the one church that does the backpacks to take home over the weekend.
Right.
But I mean, if the kids aren't eating, most likely neither are the adults.
Exactly.
And this one fundraiser or food drive, that accommodates a lot of people. And you know, it's like you say, they'll come down, and a lot of people won't, they'll see us standing out there with, I mean, how can you miss that? But they don't say a word. And then when they come out, they'll have 2 or 3 bags full of stuff. You know, they know, you know, and they want to give and they want to help.
And they'll take 3 bags to us and only have 1 bag for themselves as
You're
they're
right.
leaving. And that's what's very unique about it. That makes
We
it
had a young man last year
flavorful.
on a skateboard
Yes.
that came up there, and so we just spoke, and he went in. When he came back out, he had 3 bags of stuff to give
And I
us.
think all he got himself was a drink.
I do
That's what he
too.
went in for.
I
but he
think
came
that
back and
is
said,
what he went in
I
there
wanted
for."
to make sure that we give to this because it's going to a good cause.
Yeah, it
and
is.
it is definitely going to where we say it's going.
Yes,
and we
it
ensure
is.
that. So
And the money, they go out and buy food, and now they have some equipment over at the food bank where they can handle some perishable items. Do they not?
that's correct. They've
Refrigerator and
got
freezer.
refrigerations now
Yeah.
over, and we're looking at getting some of the meats, the turkeys, and things for this coming up holidays. So hopefully everything will go good for the holidays, and everyone will have a great holiday with a meal, and we don't have to worry about that for our community.
We work hard at putting the Lions Club, I gotta tell you, their big event, I always call it Lions Club Day, is on December 7th. And they start out with pancakes with Santa from 7 until 10 o'clock. 12 is the Christmas parade. That takes a while to set up. And then 4 till 8 is the tour of homes. And this year, the tickets will be $10. And you can buy them ahead of time from any Lions Club member, or the Lions Club itself is always on the Christmas tour of homes, because the Christmas Village is set up there, and they will have refreshments. Our nut sales for the Lions Club is going on. They will be there. You can have pecans, walnuts, cashews, all are now $12 a bag.
$12 a
And
bag.
the fruit mix is 10.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
And the Christmas ornament, I don't know that it's here yet. And for those of you who remember the Goat Motel, that's what the Christmas ornament this year will be. And a lot of people collect those. Now, there'll be a lot of young people out there that don't have any idea what the Goat Motel was, but they're usually not the ones that buy the ornaments, but the older people will know. Even though it's been torn down now, I remember it well. Not that I'm older, but I do remember it well.
Well, the younger generation probably thinks that GOAT stands for the greatest of all time.
Well, there you
That's
go.
right.
So all of that will be there for sale, and that will be a fun thing. The other thing, Bill, is there anything else that we need to bring up? The coats for
The
Cannon
coats for Cannon.
will be a little later this year. I believe they have that set up for December 13th. And it will be at the Lions Club building, because they have purchased a new storage building that will be able to accommodate that, right next to the Lions Club building.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you more about that as time goes on. But let me see here. Oh, November 22nd and 23rd is going to be the Cannon Country Christmas, and it will take place in Woodbury on the square and surrounding businesses. Santa will arrive on Friday evening at 5 p.m. Pictures with Santa will be at the gazebo that is at the courthouse, and lighting of the Christmas tree will take place right after Santa gets here. You'll have a live nativity scene, and of course, Santa's little helper here is going to do the Christmas music for that.
I might even dress up as an elf.
Well, there you
Maybe
go.
not,
What
maybe
more
not.
could you want?
I've
I'll
just
get
got one of
you-
them little Santa hats, you know.
No, I'm getting you some more things. You need the shoes.
There's going to be pictures all over the internet for that, I'm
Yes,
sure.
there will. And we have some other Santa's helpers, is the Farm Bureau women, and they will be giving out goodie bags for the children who are having their picture taken with Santa. And be sure and bring your own camera, because that's how you're going to get the picture. And they're limited to 3 each. And the merchants will be having sales, refreshments, door prizes, and there will be one grand prize, which will be given away at 12 noon on Saturday in front of the courthouse. And I have a special treat for everyone. On Saturday at 11 o'clock, Jingle, Rattle, and Roll will entertain you in front of the courthouse on the stage, and they will give you a sneak preview of their show, which will be at the Arts Center on December 20th through the 22nd. And if you've never seen this group, you've got Johnny Cash, you've got Carl Perkins, Elvis, and one of my favorites, Jerry Lee Lewis. Of course, Elvis is my favorite too. So, and I know another Elvis too. There is more than one.
Just like there's more than one Santa Claus, right? Or should
There
we not be
is.
saying that on TV?
No, there's only one Santa.
Yeah, there's
He
only
just
one
gets
Santa.
around a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me see. I think we've covered just about anything, everything. And Friday, December 13th, the Cannon County Senior Center will be holding their annual Christmas Gala. That will be at the Senior Center, and you will enjoy sitting at a beautifully decorated table, and I mean some of them are elaborate. And they have great food, entertainment, and a silent auction. The doors will open at 5 p.m., and you can call the Senior Center at 615-563-5304 for more information on that. And Keith, have I forgot anything? The Veterans Program will be this weekend, which we may be too late for that, but they will have their program at the Cannon County High School starting at 8:30 on Friday, and then on Saturday will be the Veterans parade, which will start at 1 o'clock.
And I'm going to hype up my newspaper a little bit. In the Cannon Courier this week, we had a big article come out with the Grand Marshal of the parade, Franz Walkup. If you've not heard Franz Walkup's story, he was a soldier here in Cannon County that lives in Cannon County that was wounded in an ambush in Afghanistan back in 2012. If you go on our website, cannoncourier.com, we've got an audio interview where Franz talks about the ambush in detail. And it's an inspirational story of how he fought for his life, came out on top, and is doing very well today as a productive member of society. And he's still following his dreams. So
Listen, this young man had multiple injuries. I mean, it took him a long time and a lot of surgeries. And great attitude. Every time I see him, he's smiling.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. And November 23rd from 6 to 10 a.m., the Gazaway community will hold their ham breakfast and then a fish fry supper from 4 to 7. And Christmas in Gazaway will be on Saturday, November 30th, beginning with a chili supper at 4 p.m. and then all their Christmas activities, including a tree lighting.
And I want to just throw in there real quick, we want to congratulate Bonnie Patterson. She has just been named the Middle Grand Division Supervisor of the Year for the state schools. They held a ceremony a couple days ago and honored her along with some of the other finalists and stuff. So congratulations goes out to Miss Bonnie Patterson.
And remember, the Lions Club blood drive is
Oh,
also
that's
this
right.
month. So
That's the one thing I
third
left
Thursday
out.
of this month
It will
our.
be on the 21st of November, and of course,
Please come out during the holidays.
Yep.
Everyone needs blood that time.
and this is literally, we want you to give blood at this one, so.
Yeah.
So we want everybody there, and I'm sure if I'm not out of time, I'm close to it. So all I want to say is, gobble, 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 and ho, 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 and we'll see you next month.